Big Pharma. Big Pharma. Contracts everywhere with the government. I've asked, you've asked, others have asked, where's the detail? How much did we pay Big Pharma? Were they the people behind the fact that we couldn't take ivermectin? Where are we in relation to that? Will we ever find out?
Well, at this stage, we've hit a wall. We've had a number of attempts at trying to get the vaccine contract. Myself and Senator Alex Annick and Matt Canavan moved a motion earlier this year to get a look at the vaccine contracts. We weren't allowed to do that. So we are going nowhere fast. And that is a real concern, the fact that we are letting a foreign corporation effectively get away with selling a product that didn't stop transmission, didn't stop infection, and has caused a large degree of vaccine injuries for many people.
Yes, look, in that, I'd say our views, in this outstanding speech, which I refer to, you can get it in Hansard, that Senator Rennick made on August 10, to which I suppose nobody listened. I imagine the chamber was empty, and especially no one in the Liberal Party listened. Senator Rennick spoke in relation to vaccinations that, quote, too many people have suffered, unquote. What is worse, he says, that people who've been injured by the vaccine have effectively been gaslighted. I hate that word, by the way, but it's a new word in our language which implies a set of circumstances where the abuser, in this case Big Pharma and governments, sow self-doubt in the minds of the victim. So they're gaslighted, make people feel that they're responsible for their own suffering, and then they try to gain power and control over the other person. Now, you've said that Big Pharma has gaslighted these people who've been injured by the vaccine, making them believe that something else or someone else is the cause of their indisposition. Now, basically it means they're not accountable. They've been granted indemnity by the government.
That's exactly right. And, and it's not just Big Pharma, it's the entire medical industry and government that have gaslighted these people who've been injured by the vaccine, and actually employers as well, many employers as well. That's had a devastating impact on these people. Not only have they lost their physical health, their health, they've lost also their financial ability to earn an income. So many people have had to now, not only are they injured, have actually had to sell their houses. I've spoken to people who have actually had to sell their houses because they can no longer pay their mortgage. And then they've got the mental health aspect of the fact that they've been left abandoned, not knowing how much longer, it is before they're either going to recover or at least get some sort of care that will look after them while they spend the rest of their life being injured.
But see, Gerard, there are still people out there, and I'm sure they're watching us because I've been speaking to some of them today and I'll be dealing with this issue, but who still can't return to their employment because they're not vaccinated. What sort of country are we living in?
Well, we're living in a totalitarian country when we think about those sort of laws. It's completely obscene. It was always an obscene thing to impose those mandates. But given that we're over 2 years down the track from the initial rollout, and we know that it doesn't stop transmission or infection, and we know that the current lot of vaccines are no longer even current. I mean, they don't work anyway, but even the authorities admit the current lot of vaccines aren't up to date for the new variant, whatever that may be. So it's just power and control and coercion for the sake of it. There's no other way to describe it.
It is that. I mean, you said in that speech, we can spend hundreds of billions of dollars on shutting down a country in regard to coronavirus when healthy working aged people had very little risk from the virus. I said all this, Gerard, and I was cancelled, I can assure you. I was cancelled.
Yeah, I know you did it. I was listening at the time.
They went after me, I can tell you. And you say, and yet spending nothing on the same people when they're injured from the vaccine. Now, that's a reality. But given, I suppose, that the opposition, the Labor opposition, supported the coalition government in all this mandating, who cares now? Labor and government, they'll do nothing.
Oh, that's exactly right. I mean, they were egging it on from the get-go. And I mean, and I had my differences with Prime Minister Morrison at the time over this. I felt that he was caving in too much to the left. But the left were always wanting us to buy more vaccines, spend more money, keep JobKeeper going. So they were loving it. And this was a part of my problem, was that we were giving the left what they wanted. And we were walking away from our own values. We were walking away from the dignity and worth of every individual, the freedom of choice, the freedom of conscience. And we were making it very difficult for small business to remain viable because the premiers were opening and closing businesses and borders all the time.